effect. Well, these guys aren't really fair because, you know, they get bunched up so quick because they're slow. So anything splash damage like that just wipes them in no time at all. But just adding this one is going to make it a lot harder for anything to sneak through there. You can go ahead and get rid of that now. Next wave. Go ahead and upgrade this right quick so we can just... Now, see, this is just going to hammer anything that comes through. No, the Duelists of Nisk, it was... When I was creating the setting, I wanted every area to have kind of its own flavor, you know, its own kind of personality, in a way. There's still a lot of world building I can do with that setting, but, you know, there's the Empire that's kind of not in ruin, or it's just kind of on the wane a little bit. But it's very civilized, modern, you know, because it's a modern fantasy setting, or modernized. It's a fantasy setting, but kind of what I believe, you know, my idea of a fantasy setting of would be of our age. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they understand science. They have the idea of evolution, and, you know, they know about things like physics and all that stuff. It's just that because of the laws of magic being in existence there, it messes with things. You know, they couldn't build a steam engine because in the world of Quinip is what it's called. Is the magic is attracted to energy. You know, in physics, the energy gradient, high levels of energy attract magic. So if you built like a steam engine, the potential energy of the steam would attract magic, which would build up, and boom. Big bada boom. So, you know, it's kind of a modern fantasy setting, but, you know, modern in different ways. You know, they don't have cars for the same problem. If you tried to build an internal combustion engine, boom. You'd be better off just having a magic horse or something like that if you could afford it. Alrighty, so go ahead and upgrade those. So, like I was saying, I was trying to come up with world building stuff and give every area its own personality and texture, flavor, all that sort of thing. And for Nisk, it's like the breadbasket of the continent of Quinip. But it's also this place where there were a lot of battles at one time, which is kind of what the novel is about, is all that sort of stuff. So I don't want to go into too much detail on that, but it kind of created this culture that, even though it's very agricultural out in the country, in the cities, and in certain areas where, you know, the battlefield had wiped out the agriculture and the towns and everything, and other small, you know, smaller cities and stuff. You know, they've evolved this culture that's not quite gladiatorial, but kind of like the Duelists are the rock stars of Quinip in a lot of ways. You know, they still have music and bards, that sort of stuff, but the real rock stars are the Duelists. You know, you have, you know, cults of personality and some, you know, fanboys who, you know, the non-bloody duels that's more about the display of skill, that, you know, the snobbish ones who that's the real duels, and then the ones that say, no, it's not real unless someone's bleeding and laying on the ground in pain. So, you know, that's the culture of Nisk. And I came up with a lot of that stuff Well, some of it was before Duels went away, and some of it was after. But after Duels, because the game stayed alive for a while, even after they stopped updating it. And after they stopped updating it, it was like, I'd love to make my own version of this game, because it was a good game. I mean, it was fun. You know, it had the RPG aspects, you could level up and gain skills and stuff, and they made their money off of selling packs of gear, you know, like weapons and armor and all that stuff. So it was like a kind of a collectible card game. Not, well, it wasn't really cards, it just, there was a collectible aspect to it as well. I just thought that, you know, that was, it was a lot of fun, and you didn't mind spending a few dollars on it here and there because you always got something interesting. You know, sometimes it was trash, just like any other, like a card game, a collectible card game or anything like that, but sometimes you'd get a really, really rare item, and, you know, that aspect of it is always fun. That's one of the reasons I used to play Magic the Gathering. You know, you buy a few packs of cards, and, you know, most of the time it's going to be nothing. But every now and again you would get a really rare card. So yeah, I've always wanted to remake my own version of that game my own way, with my own setting and ideas and stuff. But I'd need somebody that could do a browser game, and, you know, you have to have money for servers and all that shit. I mean, I guess if anybody watches this that's interested in trying it and wants to work with me on the idea, you know, basically you'll have to be doing most of the programming, but I can do a lot of the shit work, I guess you could call it, the dialogue and quests and character development and stuff. But then we'd also need somebody that can do graphics, because I'm okay on some graphics. I can't do, like, animation or anything like that very well. But, you know, I don't even know if it would work anymore. People don't play browser games like they used to. And Flash is kind of on its way out in a lot of ways. Suppose it'd be really interesting, instead of doing it as a browser game, could try to do it as a phone-based game. But again, to make the money off the microtransactions, you have to have a server. But yeah, if there's anybody out there that has programming ability with that sort of stuff, and you think you could actually put together a game more or less what I'm talking about. Because, I mean, the animation was real basic. A lot of it was just going up against the... But it was interactive. So, I mean, it would require a server. So, I mean, that's really a big bugbear to get past. But, you know, if somebody happens to watch this and has the programming ability, and, you know, we'd need a programmer and a graphic designer that could do animations and character design and all that stuff. You know, and then again, I can do quests and setting and characters and all that sort of thing. Rules, basically. See, we're almost up on 7,000 gold. After we get that, we can start building water towers pretty much at will. Because, again, you just do it off the interest. I don't know. Suppose could try a Kickstarter thing, but again, I don't really know anybody that would be able to do it. That kind of work right offhand, and I'm not sure about the actual costs involved for doing that anymore.